Hello everybody and welcome back to BeginnerJS. In this video, we're going to be shedding some light on Booleans. Now Booleans are a very important data type in JavaScript. However, they are a bit different than numbers or strings. Let's see how that is. Okay, so let's talk about Booleans. So what exactly are Booleans and why do you need to know about them for JavaScript? Well, we already talked about strings and numbers in previous videos, and both of them are mostly intuitive to understand. Strings represent text and numbers represent numbers or numerical values in JavaScript. However, Booleans are a bit different and unique in that they can only have one of two possible values, true or false, and they are written as is. So in this case, we have a data type in JavaScript called Booleans, and they can only take in the values either true or false. So why do you need Booleans in JavaScript? Well, in JavaScript and in other programming languages, you often need a value that represents true or false, or a binary 0 or 1, and that's what Booleans are there for. Booleans can be used to represent whether something is true or whether something is false. So in JavaScript, Booleans represent either true or false, and these are the only two values that Booleans can take in JavaScript. So let's see an example. So here we have a Boolean with the value true. You simply just write true, T-R-U-E, and that is it. You don't need to put any quotation marks or anything else. The Boolean values true and false are written as is. You don't need to put in quotation marks because if you do, JavaScript will treat it as a string and not a Boolean, which might not be what you want. So in this case, we have a Boolean with the value true. We simply just write TRUE, all lowercase letters, and then a semicolon to end the statement. And that's how you can create a Boolean in JavaScript. Now, the Boolean values true represents everything except false values. And the counterpart of the Boolean value true is the Boolean value false, which you can create by typing in false, F-A-L-S-E, all lowercase letters and a semicolon to end the statement. And this is a Boolean 2 with the value false. So Booleans can only take one of these two values. Either they can be true or they can be false. One thing to know is that in JavaScript, some values are regarded as quote-unquote falsy values. And in this case, values 0, -0, a special value null, undefined, nan, and an empty string are regarded as falsy values, which means they all have a Boolean value of false. And everything other than these values, everything except these falsy values, are regarded as true. Now at first, the data type Booleans might seem a bit strange, like why do we even need it inside JavaScript, right? But as we go on with our learning and start learning stuff like conditionals in JavaScript, you'll understand how Booleans are actually used, and you'll also realize how useful and important they are. Now one way you can create Boolean values is by evaluating expressions containing comparison operators. So in JavaScript, we have a lot of comparison operators which can be used to compare values, and the result is either true or false. So inside JavaScript, you can use these comparison operators to compare two different values. How do you exactly do that? Let's see an example. Okay, so here we have an example where we have a piece of code that says 2 is greater than 4, and then a semicolon to end the statement. And the result of this expression, when calculated and executed, is the Boolean value false, as you can see on the right hand side in the comments. So this is a very simple example of comparing values and using comparison operators in JavaScript. So here we're using the greater than comparison operator, which you can write by typing in the greater than symbol inside JavaScript. And in this case, we have the values 2 is greater than 4. When this code is executed, JavaScript calculates the value by comparing these two values and checking whether this expression is actually true or false. So in this case, we have the expression 2 is greater than 4, which as we all know is not true. 2 is smaller or less than 4. 2 is definitely not greater than 4. 2 comes before 4, and that's why 2 is smaller than 4. So the expression 2 is greater than 4 is definitely not true, and that's why the result is the Boolean false. That is how you can use comparison operators to compare two different values and get a Boolean output representing whether it is true or not. Another example here is -8.4 is less than 3, and the result in this case is true. So in this case, we're using the less than comparison operators, which is the opposite of the greater than operator. And in this case, we have two numbers that we're comparing the values of. The first number is negative 8.4 and the second number is 3. And we're expressing the values as negative 8.4 is less than 3. And as we all know, negative 8.4 is definitely less than 3 because 3 is much bigger and negative 8.4 is a negative number, so it'll obviously be a lot smaller. So the resulting output in this case is the Boolean value true. We also have what's called the equality operator in JavaScript. The equality comparison operator can be used to check whether two values are the same or not. And the equality operator is written as double equal signs. So in this case, 3 double equal sign are the equality operator, and then another 3 results in true. You can read this as 3 is equal to 3. And as we all know, 3 is definitely equal to 3. And that's why this expression returns true. However, if you wrote 3 is equal to anything other than 3, then the result of this expression would have been false. Now here's another thing. The comparison operators are not only used on numbers, they can also be used on strings. So in this case, we have a string with the value ocean, and another string with the value dark, and between them we have 3 equal signs. And this is a strict equality operator. So 2 equal signs means the equality operator, and 3 equal signs means the strict equality operator. There are some differences between the two. For example, the strict equality operator also takes into consideration the data type, where the equality operator only takes into consideration the value and not the data type. So in this case, you can read the expression as the string ocean is strictly equal to the string dark, or ocean is strictly equal to dark, and then a semicolon to end the statement. And as you can see, the result is false, because obviously the strings ocean and the string dark is not the same. They're definitely not equal. However, if we wrote the string ocean is strictly equal to the string ocean, then the result would have been true, because both strings would have been same. Both would have had the values ocean. However, here we have ocean is strictly equal to dark. And these two values, although they have the same data type, they're strings, however they have different values. One has the value ocean, and another has the value dark. So they're not strictly equal to one another. So using the equality or the strict equality operator, in this case would result in the value false. Another comparison operator is the inequality operator, which you can write by typing in an exclamation symbol and then an equal sign. And this operator, called the inequality operator, is the exact opposite of the equality operator. The equality operator will return true if the two values are the same or equal, and it will return false if the two values are not equal. The inequality operator is the exact opposite. It returns true if the two values are not the same, and it returns false if the two values are indeed the same. So in this case, we have the string with the value high. So the string high is unequal or not equal to the number 79. And the result, as you can see, is true. Because again, the inequality operator returns true if the values are not equal. So as we all know, the string high and the number 79 are definitely not equal. One is a string, another is a number. Furthermore, they have different values. One has the value high and another has the value 79. So in no way these two values are equal. And that's why if you use the equality operator, it will return false. However, with the inequality operator, the result is the exact opposite. Because these two values are not equal, the inequality operator returns true. We also have the strict inequality operator, which is written as the exclamation symbol and then 2 equal signs side by side. And strict inequality operator is the exact opposite of the strict equality operator. So that is how you can compare values in JavaScript. Again, these might not make much sense right now, but Booleans and comparison operators are extremely useful when it comes to conditionals and controlling the execution flow of JavaScript code.